Final hour of trading. Welcome back to the close. Here we go. I'll have a look at how things stand at this point. Still positive right across the board here for U.S. markets. It is the Dow, in fact, right now leading the way. 0.68, the NASDAQ about a half, 0.65 for the S&P. Interesting, to say the least, moves happening this afternoon in some individual names. Guys, let's get into the final hour of the day.
Camber, and more Camber.
Let's go, Blue Jays.
Oh, yeah, we'll get
Camber starting to go right now. So we have a couple positions on board. What's up, guys? I still have Warby right now. Ain't doing nothing. We actually went short on Warby, but welcome to the jungle. We got fun and games today, and it should be a good one heading into the close with CEI just on crack right now, moving around. It gets as high as almost $5. Halt City down to 430 on that drop. Apparently some rumors about them not being allowed or being able to trade on some platform.
Someone said Vanguard.
I don't know, but this is what happens when volume comes into a name and starts going nuts again. So there we go, down. Camber Energy, 750 million shares here with volume starting to pick up, and you can see the levels just going insane right now. So good luck to anybody on Camber right now.
Yeah, I mean, I still have some 92 short. It halted 1, 2, and then 3 times into here to the upside. And when it halted up, it opened back in, tried to take out 4 even. Once it failed at 4, you guys know the drill. Short on the way back down, got 92s, took some at 85s, 80s, 76, and the bottom here was 69, just a couple of pennies lower than that. If it takes out 4, I'm looking to the halt price of 430. We can get into the whole post-halt trades to the downside, but at the exact same time as this works itself out, at the exact same time that CEI flushed at that very top, if you weren't paying attention, PALT had its flush, DATS at the exact same time had its flush. I actually shorted DATS while CEI was halted on the way down here, guys. So I think that GROM as well made another push to the downside. So a lot of these, I guess, squeeze stocks, low float stocks, the second Camber fell apart, it was like, bam, the rug got pulled, and now we've got an absolute vacuum of liquidity. Now it's picking back up here, which makes a heck of a lot of sense, right? Like when this broke 340, there was a lot of price acceptance here on Camber at about this 380 level up to $4. A lot of a battle happening here. So to see it try to hold up at this price at 380 makes some sense to me. My stop, if it breaks 4, I'm getting out manually here. And otherwise, I want to see if I can't hold through this 365 halt price. The initial halt price, I had that halt. I held some for the absolute low. If that breaks, morning support down at 315. That's your bottom for now. Camber going, you know what, crazy, and it's going to do 1 billion shares today.
Yeah, oh yeah, I mean, easily I would think at this. So we did take Warby here. We took it long and then went right up, and then we got out when it broke 53. Again, very, very small trade. Then we went back short right here. So we're short right now, 53.94. Looks nasty on here, but we're bidding in here. Where am I bidding here just to make this back? 53.35. So we can get back down. We actually were watching this here, and I almost, you know, like we made back what we lost there. I was hoping for it. I mean, not exactly, but close enough. And I was just hoping for it to break that 20. It didn't. We tried to punch out on this 30 break, but just so you guys know, when you have, it was right here. So I was watching it. It was down here at 20. As soon as 30 broke on Warby, I tried to get this position, but I think it ripped up like 20 or 30 pennies almost instantly off that level. So right now it's battling. I do have a bid down here, 35, right in the middle there to get out and make some of this back. But Warby right now doing that. We'll talk about Boeing when we get back from Brendo.
Another one that had a pretty wild day here, trying, guys, to hold below yesterday's close now. DATS got to all-time highs, if you remember, this morning for, the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8th day in a row. Now we're back below this 1440. So we closed at 1440. You can see on the daily chart yesterday. So it's trying to hold here. Below a key level, down 4% now for DATS.
Yeah, I mean, it just broke that 14. I kind of thought that at the same time that would break, you might get the breakdown of that 65 level on CEI. I'm going to go ahead and throw a bid, right in this area here, 40s to 50s. I actually want to cover it all and then maybe even look for a shot at a long if this tests that low of the day on CEI. But DATS, if it can hold this bottom, that's getting pretty interesting here. And look, I think it's one of those situations where I don't know if I can get away from this DATS CEI and PALT. I mean, GROM maybe, but that's even dying as well. But I want to be on these names because they're moving. We're day traders, and these are the ones that are making those moves. I want to see if we can catch a bit of a bid on CEI first. But if DATS can hold this low as well, there's just so much room back into the upside. There was so much momentum in this stock. But I guess what goes up must come down, and this is that multi-support. It's not just the morning. It's also support from the afternoon yesterday. If this were to break and we get a flush through on DATS, you're probably looking back to $12. So it's got another $2 if it breaks its current support level, which is kind of crazy to think about, but who we are. Jude Fernando, we'll have a look at Roku on the daily chart. That's one that we didn't even watch outside of, I think, Monday.
Yeah, the NASDAQ's back to positive now. It's just kind of baselining up here right now. So as far as looking at Roku, yeah, it might be a good name to look at as the market's trying to figure out what it wants to do. Well, we talked about Boeing here. So here's Boeing. Came out, there was news there about a deal with the U.S., I think it was Air Force or it must be U.S. Air Force there. Just, I mean, Boeing's full of deals anyways. So really not huge news, but still nice to the upside here for Boeing. So we did take that. And again, it was just sort of off these bottoms, is 225. We only went up as high as 226.80, so that was 80-90 cent win, just like we had here, 50 cents, and then gave it right back. So we're up on Boeing today. It's a good trade. We're trying to hold out to see if we take out VWAP. But again, if the market does fall, we're not going to let this one go back. So a break of 226, and we're going to be out on Boeing right now. I want to check back in on Camber because honestly,
it's coming up.
Yeah, it's coming up to $4 again right now. So, man, I don't know. Like it's bounced around 4 here. Might as well zoom in a little bit here. It looks kind of crazy because of all these, well, not crazy, but there's been a couple halts here, as you guys know. Looks like it failed one more time there at 4. So backing around, it's just like a good opportunity to average in a bunch of times here as Camber kind of just doing a little dance now, but watch it breaking 4. It tried and got as high as 402. That breaks again, then I think we test 420, but it needs to do that first. So right now, Camber battling around. I like a 402 break on this, even higher 405. It doesn't really matter. Anything above 4, I think gets it to you, but right now it looks like the short is the good call.
We'll do this. Reloaded at exactly 392 again. It just got some out at VWAP and then some shares out at 370. One more time, I'm going to try to hold for a 365 break, which could happen simultaneously while this was rolling over. We had PALT. Now, I tried PLT for a long when Camber was halted to the upside. It couldn't break 10 even. I thought for sure at that point, look at this support level on PALT. This is $9 from the morning, so this is going to be shorting the top. Let's try to ignore the absolute mess I made on PALT. I 100% didn't deserve to make my day back because I was over trading this. I have like 59 fills on PALT, which is entirely too many. Brendo?
Another one making moves here, guys. Also having a big day. Neon, which is Neon Node. I'll show you the story in a second, but 30% here just took out that high on a big volume spike. So this is a touch sensor module maker. So they were selected for contactless airport kiosk sensors over in South Korea. So that was a contract today. Up big time on that news.
Neon.
Okay, we'll have to look at that soon. Apparently there's no deal. I mean, there were some back and forth deals here about the debt ceiling and stuff like that. Apparently, they're not going to be able to figure that out. So we're going to watch. So again, we're going to watch Boeing. We're going to watch Warby. That Neon. We can have a quick look at that. Neon here. .NQ coming through 12 and change. High of the day right here, 1240. So we just made that high. Nice deal. So actually moving on news here, which is interesting because some stocks don't move on any news, as we know. There it comes right up to the upside, 12.50 right now. Looking like a decent short opportunity, but darn, now going to the downside. We may have to pay for shorts on this one. So if you're in it, watch out. Neon, a good name here. Thanks, Brendan, for that one. I want to hopefully get out on Warby, and then I'm looking to maybe go short here on a 53 break. So if that does come through, watch out for Warby on the short through 53.
Oh, goodness, that stock. I was surprised that it opened up above 50 with that 40 issue on a day like today, a week like this week. Although the market, hey, holding up 0.5% on the ES and just below that on the NASDAQ as well. So just to check back in on CE, I can zoom in. We don't need to see the whole day anymore. But it's trying. It actually broke that 365. But you look at the hull price. This is just one little wick lower than that on the first down hold at 60. Now you're getting the real rollover. So I want to cover at 340 if I can, and then look for the bottom at 320. No movement in PALT, which I thought would flush at the same time. There we go. We got that fill, so we'll go gates of hell for CEI. It's about to halt downside.
It is?
Yeah, I mean, there's been no liquidity on this if you try to get the trade on the actual halt, and every time I've tried to do it, there hasn't been a fill to be had. I couldn't get it on the long side. Looks like you're not going to be. Yeah, you can't get it.
Darn.
It's interesting because you guys know all about this. Like that 15 seconds before it goes into the halt state. A lot of times because you can't hit the bid, but you can sit on the offer. And maybe it's an Amex thing, I don't know, but there's been no liquidity. It's been all D prints for the most part. So it's just dark pools that are filling, and then you can't get a piece of the pie. The long halt, if you got some of it, there was a tiny bit of liquidity. That was a fantastic trade. I don't know about the short because you're right into that bottom at 320, but 337 to 320 isn't a horrible trade with all the liquidity that's there. And one of the things that you've seen, like if you put all my trades at the same time, like you line the charts up, you'd see like once CEI went over and shorted DAS, PALT, tried the long reverse when CEI went up. So when I saw that failure come in, I'm like, okay, 9 even. And once you halt down in CEI, lo and behold, PALT starts to continue its rollover. So I have a bid at this price here. You'll see this breakout after the halt. That's at 825, so I'm bidding in front of this. If that goes, I think maybe that original breakout where I stopped out in the morning at 725 will be the next level down. So I don't know if there's any getting away from these bad boys today. Like they're kind of crazy. And speaking of, there should be no shock to anybody. There's the third. There's DATS. Now that at 13, that neon just dropped $1.50.
Yeah, from 12. I know, 12.50 was the top there. Affirm, people want to talk about Affirm a little bit here. I'm still waiting for CEI. It's going to be volatility halt to the downside, so that's going to be 10 minutes until that opens up. So just wanted to review that. I believe it's 10 minutes on this exchange as well. So, okay, I want to look at Affirm. Someone's mentioning Affirm here. So we'll look at that today. It was a good stock today, NY, I believe. No, NQ. Okay. NQ for Affirm. Ooh, 116 today. Nice little drop off on the 1 minute chart. It's nicely up here at a beautiful level for the 1 minute chart. We're right here at VWAP one more time, coinciding with this level too. So, hey man, wow, okay, 116. This is a decent level to short right now on Affirm, I believe. If I can get the 1 day chart to load. Oh man, and like, why did it just switch? We were just on NQ there, and it went to AM. But there we go. The 1 day is not going to actually do that much, anyways. Let's go over to the 20 minute quickly here on Affirm. Yeah, 116. I mean, it looks good on the 1 minute, that's for sure. So I think this is worth a short if we get back up here 116 or so. It just ripped to 116 and then it fell back down 40 cents. So Affirm right here. I like this short into 116.25 or so. Not bad, especially if the market's going to puke the rest of the day. So let's wait to see here 116 or so short on Affirm. Thanks for bringing that up. It looks pretty good.
And there's been a couple of questions. Goldman asking, Goldman, not Goldman.
Goldman, yep.
Asking all about Square for a swing. Look, I'm still a bit negative on the market, and I just feel like it's a little bit early on some of these names. Square is going to be it's down. Look, it's down on a day where the market is strong, right? So my litmus test for the things that I liked are show me something that's giving you some strength. I think you can dip in like cyclicals, which we talked about, a couple of names, and then there's one that we didn't mention. Like have a quick look at what Oracle is doing. Like Oracle is breaking highs up 1.5%, right? So you're looking for that relative strength. You're looking for that momentum. Otherwise, I just think you can be a little bit patient. Maybe a week or two, it'll be a good spot for something. Square is going to be a buy. It's just a matter of when. And I'm just not there yet. Not on a name like that. All of these are falling. Like DATS is at 13. That neon just absolutely flushed. And then you're currently in the halt in CEI. And then this PALT is finding a bit of a bid here. So it actually bounced off of this breakout price. So I should have been a little bit further out in front of it, which I'm going to go ahead and do now, just to step the bid up and just like get some profit. You don't want to look a gift horse in the mouth on a day like today. Like the opportunities are coming in. I might be like one position at a time the way these are going, but I'd love to get this fill, especially before CEI opens back up again. The last thing you get this short, CEI goes down the downward halt, and then I don't take any profit. If CEI opens up and starts running, well, this stock will probably come right back in. Next thing you know, I'm getting out flat. So I'm trying to avoid that, but I need one little push into the downside here. And I was going to go over this neon stock, but at this point, I mean, if you're gonna flush off a level like this and break that low, there's not much to say, except for the fact this is a halt price, and look at how well it respects it. And this is why I don't like stops at a 1230 or a 1240, because this is what happens. Halt at 1230, 1240 high, you put your stop at 1250 or a couple of pennies higher than that, and you're still able to short off of that level. If you put it randomly at the high of the day instead of sort of a more round, juicier number, then that's what's going to happen to you. But Neon still up on the session, but giving it all back like a lot of names I'm looking at here.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like you're mentioning there, Neil, like how many names are actually giving some stuff back here today, even though the NASDAQ is barcoding on the high side right here. And that brings me back to Boeing. Like, do we just take this out here? We have 40 cents in the money on this 226.05, now 50 cents in the money. So it's starting to make a move. I mean, it's just one of those levels here. There it goes. Where I was going to say it needs to break out through 226.60. It looks like it's trying to do that right now. I think this is going to be a good out for me, man. If we can get an 80 on Boeing, we'll just stick an order there. Sometimes we get those magical moves at the upside, so I think Boeing is one of those that we can sort of hold out for and see if we get that. So let's put an order upside there. You know, let's just put it at 75 and see if we get hit on Boeing. So wow. 75 or so on Boeing. We'll see if we can get that hit right now, and we'll go from there. You just said, oh wow, is that
305, 303,
yeah, okay, so it opened up.
$3 on CEI now. Cambridge's trying to hold a bid. Big bid at 3 even. It just got chewed. Oh, if it can come back. If it can come back above 3, did I get something? I got 4s there. Let's see. I mean, low of the day is going to be probably like a 90. I don't want this thing halting on me. So let's go 294. Oh, I just got stopped out. I just tried to bottom pick there. So what happened is it tried to hold this 295 level from the morning. It got to 295. It bounced off this 295 from the morning. Boom. I got in at 304, 305, and then tried to put a stop at the low of the day and got stopped out. And now you're just seeing it battle. The Bulls might win this one, actually.
Oh my God, that was actually the low of the day. Yeah, I mean,
my goodness.
Sitting here watching this, and I should have gone long where you got out there because I didn't even realize that was the low of the day. Like I'm sitting here watching this and it's like, okay, where to get in, and missed opportunity right there. Come on, Boeing. One more. Oh, shoot. We were just up there. We ticked up there to 63. I thought we were going to get our 75s there, but we miss it. What about DATS, as that's still running as well, I believe. 1280 right now. So, I mean, running, still moving the other way, though, right now. DATS coming to the downside. Do we have a spot on DATS that we like? Here, yeah, okay. I mean, still needs to come down, but 1150 somewhere in here. DATS has been down here before, but look at this, man, 18 bucks. We were trading this thing, I remember just a couple days ago, 10 bucks. I mean, you guys know that. You can just look right here, 10, 9, 10, so on and so forth. Nice little move up there on DATS. So this might be, you know, PALT, things like that. If it's the first day runner, I've noticed, I mean, you could buy things on the first day, and it seems like it's a multiple day thing, right? I remember when CEI, we were first looking at that one, that was $2. I mean, it's $3 now, but it was down here when it started to run. You could see the volumes picking up, started to pick up here on the 24th, and that was, like I was saying, $2. Volume continued through. So, I mean, if you look at a stock like PALT, you may have the same thing here with volume where, hold on, still CEI. You're going to see it here on the 20-minute chart. When we get back from Brendan, my charts are doing that thing again.
Just watching this, Evolent Health guys trying to break back to the downside. EVH did pop up there on that rumor from Bloomberg saying that Walgreens was apparently in talks to acquire the company, but nothing came of it. So we're starting to roll over again. It came back up to 29.50 and failed there for EVH. Still up big time, though.
Yeah, good job to SWW. Got CEI at 70 cents. Good, man, real good. Get out if you didn't already.
Still Forex.
I mean, people put on our chat like, you know, going to $10, going to $20. I mean, let's just be realistic. I think at some point you guys got to cash in a little bit of your trade and then move on from there and hold out for that moon. Here you go. So this is what I'm talking about with Palt. Yesterday kind of dead, but the day before that started to pick up, right? So this was an area there where you could have got it at 4, 5, 6, and then even today, I mean, off the open, you could have got $5 as well. But there's the break on insane volume. So this could be a multiple day runner as well. Palt, again, you know, some of these social media stocks, Pal Talk, I guess. So maybe it's Palt, but Pal Talk right now with a nice move to the upside. Watch out, man. Just touched 15, cut in half right there on the day. There goes. Okay, here we go. We're almost out of Boeing. Just hold on one second. If Boeing can hit, it doesn't matter. You guys will see it in a minute. Hopefully Boeing will hit. Let's just go Superman a little bit ahead of this as I'm sitting right here at 75. So I'm just on that level. Hopefully we get it. Hopefully we didn't hit that too early. But there's Boeing, a nice little win there for 70 cents.
Yeah, and one of the things that like everyone's always like, what's the next one? What made sense? And I was trying to like, I think part of it's like I'm always thinking too logically about it, which sometimes doesn't work, I guess, because RGS has like 10 times the float. Regis has 10 times the float of some of the other names that we've been talking about here. But it's got a big short interest as well, and you'd think it's a bit of a reopen play. So that's that's the reason why I was like, risk to reward. This thing has a 365 bottom with a daily chart that looks like this, right? Like this is what your daily chart looks like. Just, I mean, if you don't have anything nice to say, you're not supposed to say anything. And then it's trying to go. So it tried to go today. It already pulled back a little bit, but it's actually holding up right at yesterday's close. So it's pretty much flat on the session. You do have some support below here, not just 365, but on the dip from yesterday's move up at about 390. So if you're looking for, you want to take a shot at one of these going that has a short interest, that has the chart for it. Candidly, I did both long and short this one, long at the bottom, short at the top kind of thing on RGS. But it certainly has a shot to be able to go. It's got to take out some levels and sustain volume. There was none of that for it today, so take everything I say with a grain of salt. That's really not my cup of tea, swinging any of these things, to be honest with you. You see us trade them because that's what we're looking for. Looks like Pult is kind of boring, but I'll tell you DATS, there we go. DATS just got off, the 15 minutes where you have, they've all fallen so far that looking at my 1 minute chart is completely useless at this point. Like, you have to be able to see the entire week, because DATS just bounced off of this 1250, and someone said in the chat you should be looking to buy DATS 1250. You were right. I was sitting there staring, trying to grab CEI off the low, but you're getting this breakout price. Forget about the morning. You're now talking about the breakout yesterday and that 1250 resistance level that we were shorting before, and then turned into a nice breakout. So 1250, definite line in the sand. As CEI is about to crack 3 to the downside again. That hasn't found a bit of a bid yet. I'm going to go to the higher time frame on CEI to see if we can't pick out something to, because 260 looks like it's probably 250 to 260. If this thing can't hold 3, much like DATS, it might just have to drop level down before the buyers actually really want to step in.
Here we go, airplane. So Boeing, making me sick a little bit right now. As Boeing comes in there, it goes up to 90, but we got out where we said we would at 75, so we got to be happy about that. And then we do have an Affirm trade on right now as well, so that's all of a sudden 23 cents in the money short, like we said, on Affirm ahead of this VWAP. Let's go. Now 35, 40 cents in the money now to the downside. Affirm looking like it's Mamma mia, Firm, all the way to the downside. A nice 50-cent win in a matter of, look, you can trade CEI. Needless to say, you're going to put on more shares on a stock like CEI, and some of us have, buying power issues, margin issues. But if there's one problem that I don't have, obviously, is the ability to take, shares because of the account size. So, and that's just the way it operates here at Day Trade the World. This is not like a flex on the account size or anything like that. It's just, Neil and I can look at a stock like Affirm knowing that we have, the margin in the account there, and be able to do that. So there it is, man. 87, that's 90s out right there. We just got touched at 30. So that's a 60-cent win right there. So pretty happy with this trade here on Affirm. We're going to hold a third of it to see if we go back down to the downside. But, if it does, great. But if not, then whatever. We'll wait to see where Affirm goes from now. But that's a good trade for me. Yeah, exactly. And this is the thing. We can be very flexible. Some of it it's day trading, right? Yeah. So because everyone in the firm is flat at the end of the day, as you can imagine, that's a different risk parameter than holding overnight, where a lot of the risk is going to be, because there's no liquidity when a stock is gapping overnight, and you can't execute unless you have execution abilities. Even then, it's illiquid most of the pre-market. There was a question about Bros, Raul. If I was going to be confident in a swing in Bros, it would probably be closer to that 40 even. You're over 10% from that right now, but you're putting in a higher low. I just feel like if you gap down, 40 is your support level, and it just stands out like a sore thumb. I love when on a recent IPO, I want a resistance that turned into support, right? And this was heavy resistance at 40 even. I know because I was trading it, and then you had the monster of all pullbacks. This is like this was the one that absolutely killed me, because I was here with Arun that morning. And I wanted so badly. I was like, look at this double top at 52. I got to short it. And then I made the classic mistake of shorting it on the way up instead of on the way down after it failed through. And you'll see me get stopped out here, which is embarrassing. And then the stock went down $10. But that would then held that 42 for a breakout. I think this is the area that you want. It's that 40 resistance to support, and then support 42 into a breakout. That's that 40 to 42. That's the support level you want to be in front of on a swing. If that's comfortable for you at 45 to take, knowing you're not wrong if it holds 40 to 42, or that it could barcode there for a while, yeah, fair enough. That works. That's not my cup of tea. I'd rather it at like a 43 or like a 42 and a half, something a little bit better along those lines. But everyone's going to be a little bit different. You don't have to. No one's ever forced to trade, so I always feel like you wait for the trade that makes sense to you. And I don't want to ignore this neon. Sorry, I should say. But I didn't pull back on this to realize. I saw that pullback and was like, oh, it's come back all the way, not realizing this was a $5 stock, $5.50 last week. So if it were to break 1050,
as I'm looking at here in the 1 minute chart, like there is actual room into the downside. Here's the problem with it. Liquidity, not too great on Neon. It's done 7 million shares. That's still bros because why would it not be? But liquidity looks like it's okay based on volume. But when you actually pull this up, there's some spattering of bids around here. The spread will open up to 5-10 cents, and there's really not a lot of lots here. So it would be tricky to execute, and that's why I don't like level breaks in that situation. Like maybe you get like a 10.50 here. It's going to be it's probably SSR, but it's going to be like a 10.50 break, and you try to catch it. You might pay down more than you want in a situation like that. As I say this, CEI is getting off the bid a little bit higher than expected. Previous halt was about this halt low, 320. This level here about 337 or so. If it tries to break out through 320, decent chance it has resistance at 337. I would love to be able to play along like a halt upside and just jump on the bid and then take it out at the reopen. There's still some time for that to happen, but I don't play halts in the last 15 minutes because then they don't open till 4.
Yeah, that is actually.
I think Amex is the same, right?
That's actually a good point about that. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if it's Amex. I'm pretty sure it's NASDAQ. Okay, so here we go. We'll start beating up PaySafe right now. So that's PaySafe. Look, PaySafe just keeps on going to the bottom here. This is the daily chart. Forget about this, but basically PaySafe comes to market like at 14 bucks, and then just straight downside. So now PaySafe is at its lows. I mean, there's nothing I can say about this. I like the name. Made some great calls in Square and PayPal, and just thought that this one would get going at some point. And last earnings, I mean, it hasn't been great. So we'll have to wait. I mean, the real out on this, to be perfectly honest, was right here, 10 bucks. We spiked, 980, something like that. But now you're down to 750. And I mean, could average in until 0, but I don't know. I mean, I think PaySafe looks solid. I've looked at it and makes sense to me. But again, every time the market keeps going down, especially in this environment, they're going to sell names that don't really have any earnings, right? PaySafe's a brand new name to the market. So we're just going to have to wait and see. I'm going to have to make a call at some point here, either to double down on the position or start to trim some on moves up. So I want to wait for one more earnings report. Maybe we can find out when that is. I actually don't know when PaySafe reports, but right now you are flushing yourself down the toilet. I mean, the thing about it is, it doesn't take much to get this back to 9. So that's the one thing, like 950, which puts everybody back, hopefully, into close enough to the green anyways, if you're there. So hopefully 9 can come. Realistically, most of us need this to happen, 1050 or so. So we'll wait to see if that does come through. But right now, I don't have much to say about PaySafe other than, it's been a big one down on the downside there for that. So I still think we get back here.
September 29th?
Who knows? September 29th? Okay. So there you go. So September 29th. PaySafe, you said? That's today, so okay. I don't know why we didn't have that.
I just saw Brendan. Brendan just put it in the chat. I honestly, I'm like Ron Burgundy, man. Brendan was like September 29th.
Yeah, that's good. No, that's better. That's good news for me because now we can make a decision a little bit sooner. But I guess we didn't have that on our board this morning.
That's not. Yeah, I'm not.
Who knows if it's right or not? But Brendan will figure that out. But right now, PaySafe. We'll wait to see where we go. But right now, it's no good. CEI, we got to go over CEI.
Oh my God, CEI. No. I was watching FAMI and I missed the chance for the up halt on CEI. So I'm on the bid at 39. I'm not going to get it. And don't get me wrong, I'm not mad that everyone was talking about FAMI because yes, this does excite any trader when you see a parabolic move like that and then open back up and then sort of jam back down to 33. And I was looking for this exactly when CEI started to go, and I really wanted that upward halt on CEI to hold into an open, even if it only gives you like 10 cents. It's just a trade and a setup that we like around here. But FAMI just came off hard at 37. So when this tries to make a higher low, maybe like 35 or so, I'll probably jump in front of it, see if I can't get some shares.
Affirm is right now. Affirm is getting flushed down, so Affirm is a nice trade for me right now. Still making moves, man. And this is what I'm talking about. CEI is great. CEI is my number one stock today. Let's be perfectly honest. I'll talk about that off the. Actually, no, Lucid is my number one stock today. CEI number 2. But Affirm trying to make some moves, and again, a lot of people not looking at Affirm, but this is a nice move. 75 cents now in the money. I thought I heard Brendan.
It's November 11th, guys, for PaySafe. They did report just a month ago. November 11th for PaySafe. There's a couple things on this FAMI, which is Farmini. They grow mushrooms, if not that kind of mushrooms. So there was a CEO letter that came out this morning, just a corporate update. They also acquired some more forestry land. This is in China. So it's a Chinese company that grows edible, not that kind of mushrooms, guys.
Oh, okay.
Brendan's no fun.
No, it's not, like obviously the company does what they do.
Yeah, I mean they do what they do, and Brendan's not going to report misreport
Never.
news. And why would anybody do that? As right now, a firm coming to the bottom, we're going to get out right here, man, and ring the Reggie on $1.50 if we can. 80 cents in the money right now for a firm. So still making moves to the downside there. We did get out of our Boeing. Let's check back in on that one. Was that a decent out? Yes, it was. And then I see some people in the chat talking about they want some swing plays. Honestly, I'm surprised Warby's not Warby. I don't know. They're not doing anything today, so I'm wondering about this as a swing play. Bros, we know took rate off. This name, I'm still short it. I mean, we obviously have a disaster, about $1 loss right there. But right now we're short rate here, waiting to see what's going to do. But Warby right now doing absolutely nothing. Let's see what this does near the end of the day. But if we hold out upside, or if we hold off on making the move downside, then I do think that Warby has some nice potential here into tomorrow. So let's wait to see what this does, unless it gives up the ghost here into the close. I think this has a chance to go back upside tomorrow because it's held out so well.
And we'll go with, thank you guys for FAMI, by the way. We'll check out the reopen in 2 minutes on CEI. FAMI, the lower high, 35. I mean, there was just a stacked offer at 35. You short in front of it, 34.75. It's already starting to work back down. Now the breakout here at 30 cents, that's where you want to get out, in my estimation. So you throw some bids down and just sort of get taken out. I still wanted to be, and again, I did reload on PALT. And once again, it's finding a bit of a bid. So I expected this, of all the stocks, to just continue to fall like an absolute rock. It's nowhere near its bottoms, oddly enough, despite the fact CI came off and everything else, and we're looking at DATS just breaking lows, and PALT manages to hold up here. Even before, like the original halt price was $7.50, and it's holding up at around $9 here. I'm still short it. And I'm going to give it as close as I can to the end of the day, but there's no way I want this breaking back above 950 and then jailbreaking on me here. So PALT showing some signs of relative strength. FAMI just moved now. FAMI's been kind of getting off the bottom for a couple of days now, so I can't call this a day one move. The breakout is right here, and I should have gone to the higher time frame. This is also 30 cents. So you can see when this gap down, 30 cents here, 30 cents on the breakout. So it's a big level. I'd expect there to be some support in front of 30 on FAMI.
Manchester City. Oh yeah, that's another one. Ted Lasso. I was gonna say I was starting to yawn here. Maybe I watched a little bit too much Squid Game. Okay, AMC right now. I noticed. I mean, what a call. We made this call at 36.50 here today. If it breaks 36.50, we wanted to go short. We didn't have it. We don't have any trades on AMC today, but wow, just straight to the downside. Watch out for this, man. 35.50 getting ready to rock and roll to the downside. That breaks. We got to go short AMC 35.50 if that does come through. So I don't feel bad for anybody holding AMC because we've had lots of opportunities to get out here. And I mean, it's been a great stock. Call it like it is, man. I mean, it's moving great. It's technically been following a lot of rules here. And right now it's below the 50-period moving average. It's had a lot of negative days. So yeah, that's why this name continues to get short. And I think, again, you know, when you're seeing stock like this, we'll talk about DraftKings that we sold at $52 now, or sorry, $62, and put that up on our board as well. When we sold that one, you guys can see where DraftKings is right now. But I think you need to get into here for AMC to find a buyer, man. $32, $33 AMC. So a 35.50 break on this name. We want to go short. Come on, Affirm. You're pushing, baby. $1 in the money now on Affirm. But yeah, FAMI. CEI's open, so we've got to go over there again, as people mentioning it here. 336, 337. Not much on the reopen on the 1 minute chart. We halted basically 340, opened up 340. So now maybe the halt trade is over with, but let's see some momentum here if it cracks back through 350.
Yeah, one of the things that will happen is when these halts and then reopens get really tight, then sometimes it gets really whippy, and the actual, the really good trading is done. Now, I got wicked out hard on the bottom there, but I was using that 95. I did try that long. Of course, it's not going to end up working out for me, so not much you can do about it. People were asking for about FAMI and saying it's getting pretty strong and trending on Wall Street Bets or Reddit or whatever it might be. That 30 level that we showed you on the higher time frame, that's a big deal if it kind of holds that, because you were rounding out off that bottom when it gapped down. So to be able to break out and then hold that same price level, the volume is holding up relatively well. I know most of the spike was into that 37 level, but this 30 has held pretty nicely. I'm bidding in front of 31 here and not even certain that we'll get it. I don't want to hold this to the high of the day, 37s. I'm out at 35 if it breaks. And we'll stick to that rule, and it feels like maybe it's going to do that at this point. So we'll have a quick check on DATS, D-A-T-S, because this just, and sometimes you pick the wrong one to sort of hold on to the short side. Like I'm stubbornly holding on to PALT. CEI was a good one, but DATS, it actually cracked that 1250 barely.
There it is.
Barely getting off this bid here. So the clean trend. This one has had less a bid than the rest.
And there it is. We'll do it. We'll dap it up right there. Affirm. Thank you to the viewers for that one, man. We just cleaned that clock big time right there on AFRM. So $1.40 there. $1.40 out at a 114.50. Ooh. Still Tank City on Affirm. Still making moves to the downside, but there it is, man. We take that short, bang it out there, boom, right down to the downside. So that's going to look pretty good here. Why did we get out? I mean, it's the same thing that we do all the time. You got to have some kind of discipline, and there's the out. So it's right there. Obviously, would have loved to hold on to a little bit. I mean, my first out was on this level. I mean, this is the problem with, the reason why I'm not in it still is because of this trade. I took out 2/3 there. And I mean, it's just one of those names where it came right back into this level and it just happened so fast. Like 116 short, we got 115.25s. Like we got 75 cents there in 2 minutes or 3 minutes. This is a 1 minute chart, right? So, man, we weren't expecting this kind of a dump, especially with the futures. Actually, futures starting to go down a little bit here, but wow, what a nice dump off there to the downside for Affirm. Coming right into support though, 113.50. Oh man, that could have been a nice trade there. But you know what? We'll spin it anyways. We'll spin it for Affirm. We'll spin it for CEI today. I see you guys want this, so let's do it. Spin it. There it is. I mean, we're getting that money today, man. We're going to finish near the high of the day for us due to that Affirm trade. But I still need Warby. Yeah, I know. Knock on wood. That's okay. I still need Warby to come through here. 53.35 is where we're bidding right in here. So hopefully that can come through, and then we'll really have a nice day as Neil, myself, Brendan, and Gregory are going to the Blue Jays game.
I'm just going to throw this out there, though. Like, you guys can't see Greg, but he's got his Jays shirt on. I've got my Pina Power shirt on.
Yeah, and Brendan has his Blue Jays gear on.
Brendan's got... What? No?
Forget it.
No, I'm just not to call you out there, Brendan, but I'm calling you out.
He's going to get it on. He's going to get it on.
I know.
He may have to go back out, but join us.
Brendan was a ball. Brendan played ball when he was in his younger days, and apparently was quite good. Although he wouldn't play for my men's league team when I asked him. Just throwing.
You live in Brampton, Neil.
So what? We had half our team lived in Toronto, man.
Wow.
We had ringers at the wazoo. Shh. We had no ringers when we won the league. Shh. Sean always has to hate on the place he's from.
I'm from Brampton. I mean, we're all from Brampton. We talked about that. Trader Pratt also from Brampton.
Trader Pratt is from Brampton as well. I did finally get out of PALT, but I'm still holding to the fact that it's got some relative strength in it. So put that one, I don't say put it in the win column because it's down $6 from its high, but it's up 65% and nowhere near the lows of the day. I'm going to hold it as close to the close as I can with a stop now from 950. I'm going to stop it out at 9 even, so just make sure that we don't give as much back on it. And maybe this isn't going to give, I honestly thought this trade at 9 even was going to give you like a couple of dollars here to 7, at least around the halt up price, 750. Instead, it's giving you scalps of like 30 to 40 cents, last one being only 50. I was just mentioning in the chat, for those of you that are watching FAMI, there was some stacked bids that took this back up to 34 cents, and the fact that actually couldn't hold and maybe take out that high, still putting in a lower high, the test is going to be at 30 even. So that's where the support is on the multi-day level anyways. So that's what you got to wait out for. That'll be the real test if it can hold that into the close. I would anticipate that at least a few of these names are likely to have pretty solid liquidity come 4 o'clock. Because if they're still churning through like this, we'll be done at the end of the day. I don't think any of these names, whether it's Camber, FAMI, DATS, PALT, they're probably all going to do some volume after the close. So it is worth still watching them if you have the ability to do so. We're not going to.
Ooh.
CEI now 350.
CEI was close. It almost break. So I'm going long on a 50 break. I mean, it was right there and stopped. So this may actually be a short at this level. It just tested 50. Yeah, there's no offer, but it just tested 50 and came right back in. So let's see. Yeah, there it is again. So there it is again. Let's see what happens here. 49s, 50s. We're going to go long on a 50 break. So So we're getting ready to lock and load it for that one. If it does go, hopefully we'll get 51s or 52s. There we go. So now we are long 52s. Who knows where we're going to go from here, but hopefully we go higher. Let's get a little bit out if we can. We're long at 52 right now. 54. Did we just get those? We were waiting at 58. There went to 57. So it's 56, 57, 57. 900 million shares. It can't go up 1 penny for me. Okay, so that was that. That was nice. Thanks, thanks for that, CEI. We were waiting at 58 there, but there we go. Now we'll get it. We'll take some 56s. 58, 58, 58, 58. There it is. Yes, sir. So a little bit of hot dog action right there for a dime. Now it's a dime. We'll see if it goes up to the upside again. CEI having a lot of fun with this name here. Let's see if it can rip upside, man. Next off for 70s. Let's go, CEI.
Yeah, the fam is doing well today. Except for FAMI. Well, I shouldn't have said that joke when FAMI's going down because there's probably people long the stock.
Correct.
So my bad. That's my bad. But we'll go with this because why not? FAMI goes down to that 30 level. Good news for anybody is it just held 30 and is now bouncing off of that level. So broke 31 pretty cleanly there. I had bids in front of 30. I barely have anything left at this particular point. I thought if it broke 30 even, like me and VWAP's down here at 28, you might have a chance to get those. But yeah, it's holding the multi-day level. If you're just tuning in, when in doubt, zoom out. I always say that. The daily, who cares? The 15-minute tells the entire story, well, most of the story here on FAMI, and you're going to get this flushed down. This is a 30 level, and then it respects that for the greater part of 2.5 weeks, and then now we're breaking out through that price. And on the dip, were they trying to buy the dip? And I say they, like you just mean overall in the market, trying to buy the dip here at that 30 level. So throw away VWAP, throw away that support at 26.5, sometimes the higher time frame where it's going to be, and even the breakout, right? Like, that's why this breakout's so much better than down here at like 25, because that 30 level was a multi-day break. It made a high on some volume and then broke out, so you had a high of the day break at 320, and at the same time it was also breaking through a multi-day high. And those ones they're trapping more shorts. There's just more momentum behind them. That's where people are putting their stops if they've been shorting this stock. They're going to go way back to when it gapped down instead of only looking at a single day. Most traders are not only looking at a single day's worth of charts, so if you are, then you're making a mistake.
Come on, CEI. Unfortunately, it's not doing anything still. So we just took a bunch out here, like 60s, 58s, so on and so forth. We just took another piece out, 52 there when it went back to the downside. We are long 52, so that was an out of 10% there. Waiting to see if it breaks 50 before we get out. But I mean, now we can wait for this. Hopefully we get a nice little move to the upside. But like Neil said, we don't need this thing to halt with not too much time left. But we're almost out of it. We took, like I said, 7, 8, 9 cents there. Want more, so let's hold out for more now. Hopefully we get it, but I sometimes get frustrated because you could always get back in, and that's the thing. Like my mind is always on scalping, so you can get in and out. But sometimes holding out for it. There's MFC there with a nice bid. Remember the Toronto imbalances come out at 340, so they're out right now for 2 minutes. We could see what MFC did. Probably a little bit of a bump. Yeah, not much. So there's 340 there, 2480 up to 82, so not much happening on MFC. I don't even know what XBC is, but it doesn't look like anything, and that's about it. So right now we'll wait out for 350 until the Toronto imbalances, or sorry, the New York and NASDAQ imbalances will come out at that time. Right now, CEI, guys, doesn't look like it wants to do much. A break back down below 50, and I think we could probably just call this a trade, and we'll move on from it. But CEI right now looking good. I'm happy with it. Good trade. Glad we took that break, and just adding to the day today.
Exactly, that's what it's all about. I see some stuff in the chat saying that Prad's people are trying to say Prad is like royalty or something. He's royalty in our hearts. I have no idea whether any of that is true that you guys are saying in the chat.
Prad is like royalty.
I don't know, man. There's some weird stuff going on in the chat. I guess it's just one of those random Wednesdays. Everyone's acting like it's not Friday. I know we're in the Pina and Sean's in the J short. We're going to the game. By the way,
I mean that's probably
Jays need
Prad
to get their ish. They need to get their ish together. All right, let's just I want to go to the playoffs. Playoffs, man. I need playoffs in my life. The Raptors aren't going to the damn playoffs. Well, maybe they are. I think they're in trouble, the Raptors, this year, by the way. Pascal, Spicy P needs to get on the court and he needs to show out. A lot of things have to go right for them. But anyways, the Jays are probably one of our best hopes here because as good as the Leafs have it at the top in terms of their star players, they got to find a way when push comes to shove in the playoffs. I'm not the biggest hockey guy in the world, but when you're a Bills, Jays, Leafs fan, I mean the Raptors, when they're not doing well,
I mean, the Raptors won 2 years ago, 3 years ago, whatever it was.
I thought we had a
great parade. Shout out to everybody that was there. I remember leaving. We were doing the show, and I left in the afternoon. We obviously didn't have the afternoon show. We partied down there at City Hall, so that was a good one. You know, I mean,
short-lived dynasty though.
Well, therefore not a dynasty.
Exactly. Well, that's what I'm
yeah. So and yeah, they're not the NBA. You know, unless you have that LA in front of you or something where all the players want to go to, a player-run league, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's just what the NBA is. Okay, so we'll wait there. Would I recommend a long on AMD? Yes, I would. I like AMD long. Thank you for that, Meister Rubal, right there. The only problem with AMD is, and I called this the last couple of days, we had this exact discussion yesterday. You know, AMD today. Good trade for me, man. We took the longs and got out, so there's no problems with AMD today. We even have this long right here. Look at this long, guys. We took this just rate 950, 173 cents. Got out 101.93. So that's $1.20 right there on AMD, and then we left it the rest of the day. So the thing about AMD here is, I can't get it on the daily chart. Hold on a second. Like, I'm negative on the market right now. I'm not buying, what day is it today? Wednesday? I don't want to buy until at least Monday of next week. So for me, AMD's on the shopping list. I'm already long this name at 50, then again at 75. We did empty some out on the way up here. I even have some outs at 99. I have some outs at 107, and I have some outs nicely at 194. So sorry, 119, sorry, as I look at a stock here and call the wrong price. But yeah, so we do have those outs. I think AMD's worth it. The only thing about AMD is, you know, if this market goes down another 2 or 3%, which it could do tomorrow, I mean, even just now, guys, even just now, the market was sort of baselining there, and then it was up, what was it up, 0.5, 0.6? Now you just gave back 0.5% there in 20 minutes. So, I mean, this market could be down 2 or 3% tomorrow. So, no, to answer everybody's question, no, I cannot suggest a AMD buy. I can't suggest any buys. I love Facebook at these levels. I love Amazon. Not as much Amazon, but I love Facebook. I love Google at these levels. I'm just not pulling the trigger myself yet. The only thing we bought was yesterday. We bought Nike at 146.25. Where is it now? It was up this morning. Yeah, so flat. So there you go. So after all that, Nike's still here. I like Nike. I think it's gone a little bit too low.
That was me just getting out of FAMI there. So it does turn right on the dime, that 30 level that we were waxing poetic about. I didn't cover everything at 30. I actually hung on to 10%, and then we got out the last of it when 35 broke. So you're going to see FAMI hold up and look relatively strong. This is likely to be in play. It's actually crossed the 600 million share mark. Wow, that was impressive, because most of the volume on this is in the last hour and a half. On FAMI, so pretty impressive there. I mean, Camber slowing down, but it'll probably still get to $1 billion. This should be on your list. I know most people don't trade penny stocks, and a lot of you don't have the ability to, but the momentum feels like it's going to be in this one, especially if the Reddit crowd is getting behind it. Then after the mass exodus that you've seen today in CEI and DATS, which DATS had been so strong, you know, maybe FAMI is going to be the new one on the block, and you get to catch this one on a day 2 or a day 3. I think PALT has a chance, if only because it continues to hold the line here. In a couple of minutes, I'll probably just get flat, take this out right here for only about 30 or 40 cents, and maybe 50 at best, because it doesn't seem to want to go. And if it's not going to go, it's not worth the risk. This one is holding well above some of the levels in the morning, which does mean it has a chance at a secondary run. The volume was telling you otherwise, but the price action is telling me that it doesn't want to flush with the rest of these low float, high flyers, we'll call them, because they're all looking weak to end the day here, except for FAMI.
Yeah, FAMI. Yeah, people are saying they're switching out of AMC into FAMI. So let's go over to AMC right now and see how it's waiting. Yeah, so it's not doing anything right now. AMC on the 1 minute chart. Yeah, we were waiting for this 35.50 to break. I don't think that's going to happen today, but AMC tomorrow could be a big time trouble day for them. We'll wait to see. Let's check out what AFRM. Actually, I can just click it from here. Let's see what Affirm is. Oh, come on, Affirm. We had. Oh, this is going to make me sick right now. We had this Affirm short at 116 right there, and that was to start the show, basically. I mean, 320, we took it, and yeah, that's $3 now in the money on Affirm. We're out of it there. We're pretty happy taking that $1.50 or $1.70, whatever it was, but it's actually doubled that win rate now. So hopefully you guys are still in that. I mean, I couldn't have called. I mean, I did call it yesterday. We had a great Apple short into the close yesterday, and we did the same thing again today, man. When the market closes near, it's not going to close at its bottoms, but it might. I mean, if the market ever closes down here, then it's going to be in big time trouble. And that's what I was calling yesterday. I'm not calling that today, but wow, Affirm just straight puke city. Where's Apple right now? Neil, what's up?
No, I just the crew is having some fun with. You guys can't see, but like, you know the board, the big TV that Brendan always stands in front of. Well, they're putting fun stuff on there, which is kind of interesting. Yeah, they're doing effects and they're zooming in on us just to have a little bit of fun. It's a Wednesday, guys. It's a Wednesday. We have a lot of time to go here. It's worth noting. I know you had some good trades on Boeing. But when you start talking about some of the cyclical names, I mean, Boeing got good news. It's breaking above the 50 period. This is a name that's finally getting off the horse a little bit. And I think in any further weakness in the market, like I said, the first places that I'm going to be going, well, I mean, I already stepped into a little bit on Caterpillar, but I want more of that stock. Uber's been relatively strong. I'm now looking at Oracle as one of the first tech names I'll get into. I sold Oracle and AMAT going into what we thought was going to be a downward turn, and one of those was, I mean, AMAT looks great. Oracle looks like horrendous. There we go. Took me like five. Oracle looks horrendous. Oracle pulls back and now is looking like it's trying to break out through the high. Actually took out this 92 level and then came right back in. Now, if you go to the 15-minute, you'll kind of see this is it breaking 92 yesterday. Now you've got yesterday's top. You got a double top here at that 92 as well in a market which is falling and it's holding those highs. I mean, we get a bounce in this market. Oracle through this break is going to look fantastic. And hey, sometimes it's not about picking something off of the bottom. It's about going through the top. And if you think about the interest rate, if you think about a rate hiking environment and why everyone's concerned about tech, well, they're concerned about forward earnings. A company that has solid actual earnings, but maybe isn't as good of a growth name historically like an Oracle, that can be a good place to be defensive in the first place you go when there is a bit of a tech crunch, not just the FANG stocks. Brendo?
Selling, accelerating, I guess is the best word for it here. I just found this one, guys, EM. I mean, this is like the exact opposite of what is happening to the market right now, but 50% on the day, up to 440 here on a huge volume spike for Smart Share Global. So one to put on the list, I guess, for tomorrow, EM.
Yes, sir. I mean, it's going to be, I think it's going to be an active day tomorrow. I think that goes without saying. I mean, whether it's CI, whether it's FAMI, whether it's, I mean, maybe it could be Oracle. I have absolutely no idea. We didn't really talk. I feel like we ignored things like Peloton, which had moved earlier on in the week. I ignored, all afternoon, I ignored Moderna, which is something that I pretty much trade this stock almost every single day. Moderna, again, on these lows, again, testing this 375. And this is going to happen, man. A lot of times you get out of a trade and it's like the chart just, it looks a heck of a lot better when you cover it than when you come back and look at it at the end of the day sometimes. But 375, look at that level on Moderna on the daily chart. I mean, looking back to this 360 to 365 still. So there is so much that we can look for in momentum, especially with this market coming in. As a day trader, you know, you like the volatility. Certainly, we still both think you should be a little bit patient, you know, holding off on where you have to buy these dips, find that relative strength where it might be, but there's awesome opportunities to trade just about every single day. Next level up saying Sundial is missing me. Sundial doesn't do anything anymore. Although I suppose I'm going to look at it now and it's probably done a couple 100 million shares because everything else is going, right?
Yeah, I mean, and that is the thing, right? What else is going here? I mean, look at DraftKings. I mean, this is another name. I just saw that Kathy Wood added a few more today, but DraftKings just continues to puke to the downside. I'm pretty sure, I'll have to look at the account. I'm trying to find it there. But, you know, I sold this name at $60.50 or $61 right here. Now you're just talking about Oracle and AMAT there, but I remember selling this one, and now it's getting into that level where we need to maybe buy more. And the reason why we sold it here was, again, technically yes, because it didn't fill there. So when that came back in, that was that. And then I remember talking about selling. Actually, no, we sold it in here because we missed that bump, and I was a little bit upset thinking that we might have missed it. But it was right in here, and it was because of NFL. I thought that we were basically going to be, you know, selling the rumor, buying the news there. So, you know, once the NFL came out and started showing, I just felt like that might have been the top. And there it was, man. DraftKings, I mean, obviously the market's pulling back in. And when you're a value stock versus a growth stock, as DraftKings is a growth stock, you know, when the yield's going up and when interest rates possibly coming, you know, possibly raising as well, you got to slash forecast. And then DraftKings all the way to the downside, getting near a spot. We got to take our shopping list out as well, man. $44 for DraftKings is another name that I'm going to add to my list. I've been creating a list right now, right here. and I'm not going to show it to you yet, but we will have a list. Yeah, I see you zooming in trying to get that list. But we will show that list once it's complete.
With technology these days, people are going to pull back and like zoom.
That's fine. I mean, honestly, man, it's Airbnb. There's CVX. I bought Nike. It's on there. We want to talk about.
Chevron, that was the other.
It's everything is the same, man. I want to buy some Win as well. What is Win doing? 83. But again, I have different. Yeah, this is the thing. I said a joke.
It's working.
I said a joke about Rob. Remember, I said
what?
You never realize that you're missed until you're not here. And Rob took 2 weeks off. I'll leave it at that. No, we're just playing around there about Rob. Win to the downside right now. I think that an $80 is beautiful, man. The thing about Win is, unfortunately, the chart isn't loading. But $35 as a bottom was the bottom in March of 2020. I don't think we get there, but Win has to be bought at these levels, guys. Macau, I believe they figure Macau out. But as soon as we figure out Macau, like the minute I see a note about Macau and some sort of approval, I have to buy Win and or LVS. I love those. Apparently Vegas is rocking right now.
Yes, sir. And I still never been to Vegas. One of these days, it'll happen. I was just quickly looking at Penn because I mean Sean's talking about DraftKings, so I'm going to be a Penn shareholder.
Oh, we didn't even notice
once
the market
once the score deal closes. But the market.
The imbalances I meant.
The market is now solidly red.
So I just got into AMC.
But the imbalances.
So AMC, I don't. Yeah, there it is. Yeah, spin it for AMC right now. But yeah, FAMI's on there just to give guys a look at some names that might be here as that money thing is gone now. There's FAMI right there a little bit. DD, not much that we've been talking about today. Uber with a small little sell. Look at the market, man. Hugely negative. And I remember if you guys joined us at the beginning of the show, I did ask Brendan what our chances of going negative was on the day. Nobody really had too much of an opinion there as it was a hard one to begin with. But I'm always on to the negative side here for a while in that call. We'll see if we still have 4 minutes. This could get back to positive. But like I was saying before, you know, some of these names, I don't even want to look at a firm right now. What's that, at 112? Jeez. Like, we just had this, bless you. We just had this 30 minutes ago, man. 116. So there's $4 to the downside for a firm. Man, did we mess that up. But we got to get out of our AMC and our Werby right now, not doing anything. So we'll get out of that as well. But what a good show. I hope it was a good show for you guys. It was a big day. I'm really super happy.
Rough day in the market.
Rough day in the market for sure. But I'm pretty happy about how we're trading right now.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, we get it. Like, it's not fun for a down day, but you've got to. It's one of those things you learn. I feel you learn a heck of a lot more in a down market than in an up market. I think. This is just my 2 cents. To see you guys, I'm only calling up skills because I saw someone put it in the chat, and I hadn't looked at skills in a while. Oh my goodness, is skills breaking absolute lows here? Yeah, 10. Oh, wow. So skills is about to hit the death zone, breaking that 10 even. That gets pretty ugly because you see some of these names that are breaking these lows. And I don't know where the bottom is going to be on skills, but at 10, I think that panic low eventually at some point, the panic bottom can set in there if that's going to happen to hold up below 10. Looks like it's going to close below that level. Only about 3 minutes to go, guys. Thank you guys for all the opportunity, not the opportunity, but thank you guys for all of your patronage. It's been a lot of fun navigating these markets. I will check back in on what I'm thinking is almost a lock to close above 30, which is FAMI. And there was a question there, Neil, why didn't you, someone asked me, like, why wouldn't I have reversed in front of 30 instead of holding on to 10%? Yeah, that's the optimal trade. The optimal trade would have been to say that's big resistance at 30 even. My bias, once CI went down, my bias was to short everything unless it was a wipeout bottom on any of these flying stocks. So I did try a wipeout bottom on CI, it didn't work. To me, that's not a wipeout bottom. Like, it probably would have taken a shot at a long at 26, but you're right. That was a multi-day level at 30 even. Reversing into it would have made some sense, and it's even holding a higher low here. So of all of these names, FAMI turns out to be the strongest. Well, that's because it only started moving in the last hour or so. CI was a multi-day run. At some point, it was going to do this. That's the reality. And it's like, you look at the chart on CEI, guys, at some point, there's going to be a big down day. And the question becomes, if you got it long in the 60 cents, if you got it long in the secondary break here at 180 or $2, if you got it long up here, it's just, you know it's going to come back in and it's going to be harsh. And there's some point that you just don't want to be a buyer on some of these names. And that's why you'll hear us say time and time again, no one ever went broke taking profit, because we don't want to see anybody get trapped in a move like this. It's not enjoyable for anybody to see that happen to anybody here. And it doesn't matter if we're one of our community or just any trader and investor. There's nothing happy about it. So these things are usually going to come back pretty harsh on multiple halts. We'll see if it can hold up that 3 level, which it has today. If it can hold that tomorrow, maybe it's not completely the end of the world. there's definitely like a support at $2, but that's not a pretty thing to think about when you might be long at over $4 here. 90 seconds to go. I just want to throw out a big go Blue Jays today. I think we have to go 5-0 to probably make the playoffs, win each of the next 5 games. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, that's not happening, but I hope we can do it for sure. Tonight, Garrett Cole, so hopefully it's a good game. I like pitching.
He's pretty good.
Yeah, I like pitching matchups, so that should be a good one tonight. Hopefully we'll get the bats going too, so who knows. Yesterday was it 6-2? I don't know, I've stopped watching
7.
it. 7-2, I stopped watching. AMC there, you might have seen me just drop that. We're just counting the cash right now. All we're doing is like sort of topping out the day here as AMC breaks that 35.50, and then we were able to get a 38 there, Phil, and now there's only a minute left. You might as well just get out of this name. For whatever, it was going to be a dime at the end of the day here, getting ready to go. If you're in Toronto, we're going to be at the Loose Moose. So come and celebrate that with us. We'll be down there. Hopefully we'll be able to see you guys there. Yeah, as long as there's no line, we'll be there. But if we're with Brendan, there should be no line because we'll just walk right through the doors. So
he just kind of gives a nod, right?
Yeah. He just is like, yo, news. And he drops some news on these people, and then we're let in with only 20 seconds. What happened?
Because Valeria wasn't there to ring the bell, so they showed Valeria getting in position.
Okay, good. She's awake. We're
not quite green on the day. We did turn red here, so I guess we weren't lucky enough. But that's just the way the market has been. Dropping the countdown here. Let's go. Trade of the day. Oh, we kicked trade of the day? Palantir, trade of the day. Stick around.
1. There we go. Miss V, everybody, thank you. I still think we got to do. Hey, I had that. We had that one segment with her that one time where we had her reviewing one of her trades, and we forgot to do that. So we'll talk and see if she wants to do that.
Tesla today.
We will do that again. She did trade Tesla today, so thank you, Ms. V. Again, I want to get her more on the show. I mean, that's for sure.
You guys want to get her more on the show.
I think everybody does. We do have a shot at Ms. V. Where is she? Is she back there right now? There you go. Yeah, mad hearts there for Justin Bieber. Okay, thank you. I don't know. Did we get back to green there?
No.
The market's trying right now, Brendan, but I don't think we closed green.
The S&P and the Dow did, guys, but the NASDAQ, the only one here in the red, but only just, so not bad overall. I mean, 0.5% almost for the Dow. S&P positive as well. Not good for cryptos. I noticed mid-afternoon there was a bit of a tank there as well on the crypto front as well, guys.
Oh, yeah.
Fire her. Yeah, no, we're not firing.
What? No.
We're not firing Miss V. That's for sure. Prad's another story. No, we're just joking. Okay, there she is. Yeah, you guys got her all sad. Don't worry, Miss V. Come on. There's absolutely no problem there. I remember when we were looking to hire somebody, we really we felt really lucky to get Miss V. So thank you for that, Valeria. As we go, but I want to give a big thank you to our production team that was having a great amount of fun there, and thank you to Rob again, the good spirit over there. Thank you, Maggie, Rob, Lucas as well. Thank you for Trader Prad and Miss V. So thank you guys again. There's Miss V. Trader Prad booked out today as he famously told everybody he had a bad morning trading and wanted to go home and play vids. So see ya, Prad.
Whatever works for you, right?
Like hey, that's what, I mean, look, that's what happens, right? Well, you got to sometimes refocus, and he'll be back, and we all have bad days. Thank you to Brendan again for dropping tons of news on a day like today when there's Palt going crazy, Gree going crazy, CEI, it goes on and on. We know the Grom. Anyways, okay, trade of the day, something simple, a name that doesn't go too crazy too often. We're going to talk about Palantir, and it's coming up right now. So we'll say, go Jays, go. We'll be at Loose Moose on Front Street. See everybody there. See ya.
See you guys.